Hello and welcome to Straight Talk. I'm Ayşe Süberker. After multiple delays, Iran's President Ebrahim Raisi has finally made his first visit to Turkey. On Wednesday, he met with his Turkish counterpart Recep Tayyip Erdogan in Ankara, where they signed cooperation agreements covering energy, trade and infrastructure. They also set an ambitious $30 billion trade target, a fourfold increase of last year's total figure. But the main focus of their meeting was containing growing regional tensions.
Değerli kardeşim Sayın Reisi ile
My esteemed brother Mr. Raisi and I exchanged views on the recent developments in Palestine, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan and the South Caucasus. The Palestinian issue is at the forefront of both Turkey's and Iran's concerns.
hem Türkiye'nin hem İran'ın odağında yer alıyor.
Both countries have repeatedly called for an end to Israeli attacks on Gaza since it launched a deadly offensive on the Palestinian enclave after Hamas's October 7 assault. With the growing death toll in Gaza, Houthi rebels attacked commercial ships in the Red Sea. The US and UK responded with dozens of airstrikes on Houthi positions in Yemen. Iran also was hit earlier this month with twin bombings which left dozens dead in its city of Kerman. Tehran responded by launching strikes into Iraq, Syria and Pakistan. Just 2 days later, Islamabad carried out retaliatory attacks into southeastern Iran. And for more on Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi's visit to Turkey, joining me now from Doha is Tamer Karmut. He is an assistant professor at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. And from Ankara, Murat Aslan, an associate professor at Hasan Kalyoncu University. Gentlemen, welcome to Straight Talk. It's good to have you on the program. So, Murat, talk to us about the importance of Raisi's twice delayed visit to Ankara, which comes amid heightened tensions in the region.
Well, as you have mentioned, heightened tensions, because if you go through the escalations, not only in the close vicinity of both countries, you can start from Sahel region and reach to Yemen, and maybe to some other irregular and potential conflicts in the region. So that's why this visit is significant, because both countries should talk and understand each other, because both play roles sometimes in preventing some conflicts. And on the Iranian side, they are directly included in some. So this is about a sort of exchange of views on what to do against these sorts of potentials, other than economic bilateral relations or political interactions.
So, Tamer, speaking of exchange of views, both leaders seem to have agreed on the need to de-escalate tensions. What political cards do they have to lower tensions in the region, and what steps could they take to halt the fallout of Israel's war on Gaza?
Aisha, I mean, we're talking about two regional powers, central and regional powers, Turkey and Iran. Both of them, they have key interests in the region, they have key allies in the region, and they have powerful tools and cards also to leverage influence. So let's start. I mean, there are so many starting points. I mean, let's start from Palestine, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Turkey has it's the only NATO country that recognizes Hamas as a Palestinian political party, and it has a healthy relation with the movement. Iran is a strong backer for Hamas and believes in the right of resistance, and they have also influence over the movement and leverage over the movement. So when it comes to any future negotiations on hopefully ending the conflict in Gaza, I would anticipate that both will have opinions and will have some influence to exercise as well, if they agree on a roadmap. I mean, the Houthis, the conflict in Yemen. Iran is a key player. It's of course. I mean, the Houthis are also they're member of the resistance axis, and also Turkey more or less have been very vocal on Gulf issues and Gulf interests. It has excellent relations with Saudi Arabia, most GCC countries. It could also play a role in peacemaking, even in Yemen as well.
So, Murat, can we say, I mean, has the Gaza war in a way helped both countries put regional disputes on the back burner for a while and help them to seek a joint approach to the Middle Eastern issues?
I think ultimate goals are almost the same, though. There are some sort of variations between the objectives. Well, Turkey does not want an humanitarian disaster in the region and a stability, because Turkish priority currently is economy, and security can be promoted only by interactions of the publics. But Iranians are a bit much more political in assessing the problems in the Middle East. For instance, the Shia crescent has always been the strategic agenda of Iranians, and think that they are now have a reach to Lebanon, the Mediterranean Sea, and they don't want to lose ground, mainly on Syria or Iraq. In this sense, there is a common shared goal of terminating this conflict, maybe. And for the Iranians, maybe it's more than that. That we have to confess it. I mean, Iranians are much more aggressive in terms of treating Israel and the United States.
Yes. So, but Tamer, how could Iran work to contain tensions in the region where its revolutionary guards and proxies in Syria and Lebanon are being allegedly targeted by Israel?
Very difficult question, Aisha. Of course, I mean, Iran as a regional power, it has vast interest and influence over these proxy parties. But let's, if we want to go back to the origins of the problems, we also have an Iran that also has been mistreated by the West and sanctions by the West. So this comes as Iran's defensive strategy to expand its influence and at the same time exercise its power and position in the region to protect itself. I mean, we do understand these dynamics of power. But Iran, if there is, let's say, I mean, let's assume if there is a major deal, an international package that also treats Iran's concerns, and there will be a normalization between Iran and its neighbors, and Western sanctions are removed of Iran, I would assume tensions would ease, you know. But these tensions in the region, I mean, they have a very complicated background behind them, starting from the Iranian Revolution and onwards. But the key to these issues is regional dialogue, because, you know, the Americans are here, the Russians are here in the region. There's so many big powers are also having their own influence in the region. But what were we missing really is the regional dialogue. I mean, this is the old world. I mean, long time ago, this part of the region was all under one system, the Khilafah. I mean, name it.
Yes.
We have so much in common. However, we need to emphasize on the regional dialogue to solve our own problems instead of resorting to external players to have their own say and to divide and conquer.
So, Murat, now that Iran has hit 3 countries, Iraq, Syria, and Pakistan, what do you make of it? I mean, does Tehran feel that it is being encircled, or does it being threatened?
First, let me clarify one thing. Both Turkey and Iran are more than regional powers, but less than global powers. That's why they have an attempt to outreach to other areas, maybe to shape at least the region. But Iranian situation is a bit more than that, because they are eager to challenge the other actors rather than benefiting much more compliant strategies. And Pakistani issue, well, it's strange and interesting, because we see that there is no coordination period to the attack in Pakistan. Well, if you start it, there must be a sovereignty gap in the region, and there is no right now. So that was a great fault, especially committed by the Iranian decision makers. On the other hand, what Pakistan responded, or how they responded, it was within the limits of reciprocity. So I think Iran must review exactly their strategy on how to intervene, because then they could face some much more exaggerated responses, especially from the state actors, as Pakistani did.
So, Tamer, the 2 leaders also have agreed to reach a trade target of $30 billion in the coming years. So is this viable?
Why not? It should be viable. I mean, the potential is there. I mean, let's look at Iran. Iran joined the BRICS. BRICS Plus is expanding. It's already included Egypt and UAE. And Saudi Arabia is also on the way to join the BRICS Plus. Turkey also has excellent and very rich economic relations with the MENA region. I mean, especially with the GCC countries.
Yes.
Turkey is an EU candidate country. It has access to EU markets. So this excellent geopolitical geography and placement of the two countries makes them act like bridges for economic opportunities and trade.
Yes.
So why not to capitalize on this? Of course, the Turkey is also it needs energy. I mean, Turkey exports much of its gas and
Yes.
oil. Iran is there. Yeah. So I mean, name it. I mean, the potential is great. So if trade it brings more opportunity to ease tensions and to open up borders between countries, so let it be.
So, Murat, very quickly, please. They have also signed 10 cooperation documents to expand economic cooperation on energy and infrastructural projects like railways. So what kind of an impact could new transport and trade lines have on the normalization of the South Caucasus?
Well, both countries have a great number of people living, a great population. That means both countries are markets. And in the meantime, once they establish routes that they can easily trade among themselves, well, it will have a positive impact in the stabilities of the Caucasus or the Middle East. That's a fact. And Iran is a natural route for linking Turkey to Central Asia. On the other hand, we must remember something, I believe. Economy is something over there, but it's not alone. So if there is a problem in Iran regarding Azerbaijanis, well, economy might be a gate for stability, but not all. I mean, there must be something further.
All right, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we'll have to leave it here. Thank you very much for joining me on Straight Talk.